So let's graph f of x equals 3 to the x without our graphing calculator. So remember, f of x equals 3 to the x is the same as y equals 3 to the x, correct? So we're going to pick some x values. We're going to plug them in and solve for y. So let's pick -2 to +2. And let's start at the bottom of our table. Let's start with the +2. So I'm going to plug in that x value. So that means I get 3 to the 2, which is, and then work my way up. 3 to the first is 3 to the 0. No. 0 exponent. The answer is 1. Now, 3 to the -1. Well, when you have a negative exponent, guys, you're going to send it to the bottom. And it's going to become positive, but there's nothing else there, so put it 1 on top. So what is 1 over 3 to the first? 1/3. Okay, anytime you need that exponent to change signs, either put it, if it's on top, put it below a fraction symbol, or if it's on bottom, bring it up on top, okay? Anytime you cross that divide line or that fraction symbol, it changes the sign of the exponent. So for the first one there, then, we have 3 to the -2. I've got a negative exponent, so I'm going to put it on bottom of the fraction.
You get 1 over 9.
So I get 1 over 3 squared, which is 1 over 9. Now, when we do exponential functions, they also have a horizontal asymptote. All right, and because you can see as our x's are getting smaller, as we go up our table there, our y's are getting smaller, but they never did go negative, did they? They never will go negative because there's a horizontal asymptote on the line y equals 0. For every exponential parent function, there's a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Okay? Now, if we move this graph up and down, it's going to change. But we'll do that with our transformations. All right, so when we go to graph this, I'm going to put some little marks here so I can graph.
What do you want it to? Oh, okay, no, I'm sorry.
All right, when I graph, I usually go ahead and graph my horizontal asymptote first, but it really doesn't matter, okay? So we know there's a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. That is your x-axis. So I know on yours it may be kind of hard to see it as you're drawing it in. Some hints, or you can extend it past it, like I did over there on the right. You can do that to both sides so you can see that there's something there. You could go off of it just a little bit, okay? Just so I know that, this is not off a little bit, okay? Like where it's barely above or below. A lot of times I'll even alternate. My first one will be just a little above, my second one's just a little below, so that I can see it on my graph, but I know it's in the center there. All right, and then we're going to plot our points. So we have the point, I'm going to start at the bottom. So 2, 9. One, 3. 0, 1. -1, 1/3. -2, 1/9. So notice as we go to the left, we're going down, correct? But we're never going to go negative. So when I go to actually connect my points to the right, it's pretty easy. So it's going to look like this and keeps going up. But now watch, as I graph to the left there, it's coming down, but it looks like it's flattening out, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not really flattening out, it's just getting closer and closer to that line y equals 0, but it's never going to cross it because As we go to the left, we're dealing with the in behavior. And remember, horizontal asymptotes never cross.
Can it touch it but not cross it?
It'll never touch it.
Oh.
All right, so there is our graph.